All right, so now what we can do is compose our arms. I want to give it a nice, easy, back and forth motion. I want her fingers to be a little bit more relaxed looking. Right now they're in kind of their normal pose, so it's like the ends need to be a little bit more bent. Now that we have these controllers nice and easy to select, it's so much easier to go in and animate now. We're just doing a little bit of bending on these. Have the pinky bend in towards the rest. Your fingers are relaxed, they are kind of more just, they'll clump together a little bit more. Okay, this is looking pretty good. All right, so with the forward step that comes from the left side, this arm will be back. So we're going to go ahead and make that happen now. And on the 12th frame, we'll have it go forward. About right there. We'll just grab this keyframe here. We'll just command drag it out. Make sure we have 24 out. All right, so on the 24th frame, we'll go back to there. We're going to add some keyframes to the elbow as well. So when it's coming up to here, it goes out a little bit more. We are going to offset these. So that's why I like having those repetitions there, so that I can actually offset some of these keyframes. Here's one that we can just kind of have it swing forward on the 12th frame. And then this one we'll just click and command click and drag so that it's repeating back here. Same thing with this one. These are all going to be offset a little bit, so we'll just have this one rotate back, forward, and back again. Not sure what I did there. Okay, back again. All right, so then let's do the same thing over here. We'll just kind of get this arm into a place that it looks kind of more relaxed. Just quickly posing this thumb and stuff so it looks more relaxed. And then we'll do these. Again, we're not going to spend too much time here. I wanted to just show the animation workflow a little bit. How posing works and how keyframing works. Getting some loops in there, some cycles in there. Okay, that's looking pretty good. This looks like it's maybe rotating in a little bit too much, so I'll just have it rotate like that. There we go. So let's make these cycles happen. Let's go back on this first one, or on this second pose. So this pose is when the left leg goes forward, the right arm goes forward, like that. Let's move this back. Okay. And there we go. Next step after this is going to be offsetting. So have that come up like that a little bit. A 12 frame step is awfully fast. So she's going to look very determined. So that's okay. She's determined to tell you how to model, rig, and animate. Very excited about it even. All right, so now let's go to our timeline. we're going to do the dope sheet this time. Under the waist control, that's where these shoulder controls are going to show up. We're going to do the same thing we're going to do for all of these. In fact, we're just going to do every single one of those. So we're going to grab every single one of those tracks by clicking that middle mouse button. We're going to do the F-curve functions, track after, and repeat. I'm going to set it to 90 repetitions. Did that work? Yeah, it looks like it's going to work. We'll go to the F-curve just to make sure. Yep, it worked. I don't think I animated the wrist, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And we're going to check that dope sheet one more time, or the timeline one more time. Looks like the wrist, if we do a frame all, is not doing any kind of repetition. So I want to grab those again, do functions, track after, repeat 90 times. There we go. Now what we can do is inside of that dope sheet, we can start to move some of these back in time. So this right shoulder and left shoulder, we're just going to grab both of those at the top level, because the further down you go, you can see that it's actually, it's collapsed all of the information inside of it. The wrist is part of this bigger left shoulder and right shoulder timeline. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to move this all the way back to the very beginning. And then what I'll do is I'll just kind of move this whole track 1, 2, 3 frames forward. We'll just see what that does to the walk. See how it's already offset those arm keyframes by 3 frames? That's really nice, but we do want to do a little bit more. We're going to twirl these down just a little bit. We'll do the left elbow. We'll move these up by 2 frames as well. And then we're going to do the wrist. And these are going to be up by 2 frames, maybe 3. So the wrist I kind of want to drag behind and then only flip back up as it's coming back the other direction. So I'm going to even do one more and just see how that looks. So you can see how that really adds a lot. I feel like she's maybe dipping down a little bit too low. Even though she's got these really long legs, I feel like she might be dipping down a little too low. So while that's playing, I'm going to go back up to her waist, go to the position. And I'm just going to kind of reduce this a little bit, maybe a little bit too much there. And I'm going to also shift and click this to drag it up a little bit. Not quite enough. So maybe she's dipping too low. That's what we'll do. We'll just drag these down. All right. So this is a good spot, I think. We can start to do a little bit more rotation. So let's try some rotation on her hips first, and then we're going to add some rotation to her chest and waist, and a little bit to her head, and then we'll be done. It'll be the whole walk cycle.